Hey guys, this is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. Hey, today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. All right, we got a cool subject for ourselves today, so let's go ahead and dive right on into it. What is our subject for today? Our subject for today is selling. Do you own what you're selling? Why? What did he say? I said selling. Do you own what you're selling? Why? Why is that important? Let me tell you why it's important. Check this out. You know, I've been in sales a long time, since the 80s in one form or capacity, and I'm going to tell you what, if you don't own what you're selling and you have the capability to own what you're selling, and you may have the competitor's product in your home or in your car, it's not good sense. Okay, let me tell you a secret. You know, here's the thing. Imagine you're in a situation where you're in a house and you are in front of the customer and you're talking to the customer and you feel real good about this. And then they ask you a question, simple question. They say, well, do you own this particular product? What do you say? If you don't own it, are you going to sit there and lie to them? Are you going to be able to even say yes, or are you going to say no? So here's the question you should be asking yourself. If you are in front of your customer and you have the capability to purchase the product, you need to go ahead and do so. And let me tell you the reason why. If you're in front of a customer and it's getting to the point where you're getting ready to ask for the order, you're fighting, you're battling, you're in there overcoming objections, and then they say, well, you know, I really can't afford it. I mean, I don't have the money. It's not in my budget. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, you know, I can understand that. That's why I don't have it. That's why I don't got it. So you got to ask yourself, why don't you own what you're selling? Now, if you're selling products that are very expensive and you don't have it in your own personal budget, where it's like a 747, or if you're selling pools and you ain't got a pool, I mean, those are really, really expensive things. But if you have the capability to own a lot of the products that we sell, we need to buy them, guys. Let's just say, for instance, if you're selling somebody for instance, insurance, and you don't even have a policy on you, and you don't have a policy on your kids or your significant other, your family members and stuff, and you're in the trenches and you're trying to sell this product, the capability is a little bit less because, see, if you don't have any skin in the game, a lot of times you may decide, well, this fight isn't worth fighting because I don't really believe in the product. Oh, don't get upset or anything. You may be saying to yourself, oh, I believe in it, I believe in it, I believe in it. Do you? Because if you really do, you'd probably have some of that insurance. You'd probably have some of that annuities. You'd probably have some of those things that you have the capability of owning. See, you got to ask yourself, don't give it lip service. You got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Do you own what you're selling? See, a lot of times it may not be the situation where you're able to afford something, but if you have the capability to go out there and invest and buy a product, if you're driving a nice Cadillac, or if you're driving a Ford truck and you're out there selling Toyotas, or if you're out there selling another brand, it's kind of hard to put yourself in the customer's place and say, hey, you should own this, you know. But listen, if you own something that you're selling, you can tell the customer, look, I've had this product. It is awesome. I use it all the time. It's something that I believe in. And you have this belief because you've bought it. You're more easier to be able to sway somebody. It's hard to sway somebody, you know, if you're wholehearted and into it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of products that you can't afford to own. A lot of times you may not be able to afford $1 million home and you're trying to sell $1 million home. But see, you're working to that end. You own a home. If you're out there trying to sell cars and you're trying to sell, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. You have to have this appreciation for the ownership of the product. Now, if you're out there selling jewelry and you're selling $1 million rings and watches and stuff, and you don't even have a couple of cool watches and some nice rings to complement your outfit, or if you're out there selling nice clothes and suits and stuff, and you don't have a few of those nice suits, you know, it's really hard for somebody to look at you and take you serious. I mean, I used to sell electronics. I sold electronics for years. I sold furniture for years, and I always made sure that I bought pieces, especially, at the companies that I worked at. And the reason why is because I wanted to have a conversation with a customer and for them to believe me. It's hard to tell somebody, yeah, you need to get a nice rug. It'll make a splash in that room. And you don't have any nice furniture or anything that you've purchased from that company, and you're telling them that, hey, they should own something, and then you're not. It's kind of really tough. I'm not being hard on you guys, but I'm just trying to give you some ammunition here. See, a lot of times, if you're selling whatever, let's just say, for instance, you're out there selling door to door and you're selling meat, and you don't even buy that meat for yourself and use that product for yourself. Again, it's going to be hard for you to sway. Now, you might be able to manipulate people, but don't lie, guys. If you don't own a particular product, don't tell the customer, yes, I own it. Because, see, you got to thine own self be true. You don't want to end up telling lies, because the more lies you tell, the more memories and stuff, because somebody's going to call you on your lies one day, and you're going to go, okay, it's just not a good idea. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. I told you I'd tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and the warts and all the crazy stuff that's got to do with selling. A lot of times people don't talk about stuff like that, but on our forum we do. And our subject is selling. Do you own what you're selling? Why? It's very simple. If you purchase something, and it may be tough for you to get this, because it may cost you a little bit more money, and it's something that's just maybe out of your budget. But see if there's a way you can finance it. See if there's a way you can purchase what you're trying to sell. Now, I ain't saying that there's always products out there that we sell that we're able to own, and because it's just, there's a lot of reasons. There may not be a need, but if you have the capability, and if it's something that is given to the customer, I'm saying, like I say, I love this insurance thing, because if you're selling insurance and you don't own any insurance, that's shame on you. If you don't have a nice sofa or a nice living room suit or a bedroom suit or a dress or whatever it is from your company, shame on you. You need to own that stuff, so that way you got what they call skin in the game. And see, if you got a little bit of skin in the game, people are more inclined to go, okay, well, because see, what you're doing is you're pulling from your own personal experience. And when they tell you it's a little too much, it's unaffordable, you can say in the back of your mind, yeah, but you know what? That's why I invested in this product, because I know it's good quality, it's good for you, and it's good. If it's good enough for me, I'm letting you know it's going to be good enough for you. And you got to be above board. You always got to tell the truth to your customers, guys. Manipulation and lying just doesn't work. Now, here's the thing. If you're out there selling extended guarantees, warranties, maintenance agreements, and you ain't never buying that stuff on your products, shame on you. You got to believe in stuff. I've had my experiences over the years of buying guarantees, warranties, fabric protections, extended maintenance agreements, and all these different things. And I bought them on all of my stuff, because if I'm going to be out there selling a product and I don't believe in it, that ain't right. We're supposed to do and be above board with the customers and tell them, look, I understand. It costs a couple of extra dollars more a month. Yeah, but if we can fit it in your budget, do you think you'd like to go ahead and go with that? And listen, when you have this empathy, you understand how they feel, but you ain't standing there if they throwing up with them. You're dealing with it. You got no sympathy, empathy. You deal with the life. People want to own stuff. They want to buy stuff. And our subject for today is selling. Do you own what you're selling? If you have it in your capability to own what you're selling, you need to go ahead and suck it up and purchase it. Now, it may take a little bit of time for you to get that money up to be able to buy the particular product. But if your company has the capability for you to finance it, it behooves you to go ahead and make that purchase. It's like, Zig Ziglar, he had this guy that he worked with, and he sold cutlery, food things at people's homes where they would, make meals and stuff, and preparation and food processes and stuff, and then they would sell the cookware. But this one guy that he worked with, he had a real hard time trying to sell the cookware. And the reason why he was having such a hard time selling the cookware, and old Zig pulled it out of him, he asked him, well, I noticed that on your stove and everything, you got the competitors' stuff. Do you really believe in what you're selling? And the old dude said, yeah, I believe in it. I believe in it. And he says, Zig Ziglar says, do you really believe in what you're selling? And he says, oh, I know what you mean, Zig. I know what you mean, Zig. You talking about that old competitor stuff in there. You know, my wife just had an operation. We all have these bills and all this. And Zig Ziglar looked at him in the face and he says, okay, when you're in the tight ropes, when you're right there with the customer, it's real close for you to get that sale. Do you know that they tell you the same thing? And what do? Oh, man, I understand. Boy, it is rough to afford that. So Zig kind of pointed out in this regard, look, if you have the capability to buy something from your company and you're owning your customer, the competition stuff, you need to go ahead and reevaluate that. Because if you're going to sell something, you need to own it. You need to be a part of it. If you're buying your competitor's stuff and you don't believe in your product, first off, if you're selling a product and you have a product that you're selling on a daily basis and you're talking to people about your selling, the only way you're going to get better at it is to own it. If you own your competitor's product, you got to ask yourself, do I really believe in this particular product? And I ain't your mama and your daddy. I ain't trying to get in your business. I ain't your preacher. I'm kind of like your teacher. Because, see, I've had to invest in things, and it was kind of tough sometimes because it costs some money to invest in the products. But to be able to sell properly, the subject is selling. Do you own what you're selling? Why? Why is it so important? Because what it'll do is, like I said, you have skin in the game. So when they give you these objections why they can't afford it, or these objections why it's just whatever, you'll be able to overcome those objections more easily because you can say, yes, but let me tell you the reason why I bought it, why I own it. And I'm going to tell you what, when you give somebody some insight on the reason why you own it, holy cow, that's a whole different level. Now, see, like I said, there are some products that you can't own. There's services, but you have to believe in what you're selling, guys. If you believe in what you're selling, you're going to want to own that product. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy, and you may not agree with me on all this stuff that I'm talking about, especially about owning the product that you're trying to sell. But if you have it in your capability, guys, I guarantee you, if you buy the product that you're trying to sell, you will sell more of it. I guarantee it. Zig, he did the same thing. That guy, when he finally broke down and says, I'll go ahead and get some of this stuff. Now, he wrote up his own order, and Zig, made the commission off of it. But that guy ended up being a much better salesperson because he had skin in the game. He was the person who says, man, I know how tough it is. I know it can be expensive, but let me show you why you should invest. I love it. My name is Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. And I'm going to tell you what, if you're out there selling, you got to ask for the order. And if you ain't selling. See, our subject for today is selling. Do you own what you're selling? Why? Do you? And if you don't, reevaluate your situation. Go ahead and put your money where your mouth is. And go ahead and go out there and sell something. But remember, you got to own a lot of times those things that you can afford. Even if you can't afford them, if you plan on selling them for a long time, you might want to figure out a way to invest in the product that you're selling. Because I'm telling you, you'll be a better salesperson if you own that particular product. And if you got your competitor's product in your home, you need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to go sell for that company. Because, see, that means you're more interested in that particular product. Because how are you going to sell something you don't believe in? It ain't that easy. But see, here's the thing. If you believe in the company and you believe in the product that you're selling, if you have the capability, go ahead and invest in it because it's an investment in you. So go out there and sell something. My name is Gary Lee Stanley. We just had a really great conversation, and I am your sales guy about selling. Do you own what you're selling? I own a lot of the stuff that I've sold. Believe it. And I love it, and I can sell it much easier because I believe in it. So go out there and sell something, and don't forget, buy that product that you're selling if you have the capability and the means. It just makes a lot of sense. So go out there and have a great day. And listen, selling, do you own what you're selling? Why? Now you know why. You're important. Go out there and sell something. That's the reason why. Ownership of what you're selling makes all the difference in the world. Now go out there and sell it. All right.